Egypt, you may now begin your presentation.
People have spent too much time thinking whether this cup is half full or half empty. In the current world's economic status, the majority would say it's half empty. Very few would say it's half full. We at SIFE UFE are optimistic. We believe that it's time to look at Egypt in a new perspective. Instead of wondering if the cup is half full or half empty, let's bring water and fill the cup.
Egypt and its people are facing similar agonies as their fellow humans on the planet. We believe that it's now time to come up with solutions. It's time to move forward instead of standing still. It's time that we, the youth, stand up and prove that we can carry on. It's time to dare being different and switch perceptions. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are SIFE Université Française d'Égypte, SIFE UFE, and we believe that opportunities exist, but don't often rise. Today, we'll show you 5 new projects implemented this year, by which we'll demonstrate how we seize these opportunities, fill the cup, and switch perceptions.
The View2See project.
The 20 million inhabitants of Cairo produce 2 million tons of organic waste annually. 50% of the waste is collected and transported to Hayy Zabalin, which is the garbage collectors district. This community faces the problem of organic waste accumulation due to their reliance on primitive waste disposal methods.
Meanwhile, in Egypt, there's a wide gap between the supply and demand of compost, which is a natural organic land fertilizer. This compost market is restricted and confined to a limited number of suppliers not capable of satisfying the huge demand. This resulted in high prices and low-quality compost.
SIFE UFE saw these 2 challenges as an opportunity to launch the View2See project. Our first objective was to find new usages for the piles of organic waste, to create new economic opportunities for Hayy Zabalin. After several researches on the usages of organic waste, we found a simple technique to transform it into compost. This technique consists of filling 60% of a barrel with organic waste, 25% with animal waste, 15% with supplementary components and water. After 21 days of fermentation, under specific conditions of sun exposure and air penetration, this mixture is transformed into compost.
Our second objective in the View2See project is to reduce the gap between the supply and demand of compost on the market. SIFE UFE compost sample was officially approved by the Egyptian Ministry of Agriculture. The results of the test proved that our compost sample has great potential for cultivation and good specifications. It has lower pH, better quality, and much lower prices than other compost products offered on the market.
To turn this idea into an actual effective solution, we had to gain the trust of Hayy Zabalin to implement our project. Therefore, 6 of SIFE UFE students enrolled as active members in the Garbage Collectors Association to work with them in the garbage separation activities. We also taught the inhabitants how to transform the barrels into composting units. As a result of the trust established, 150 square meters of land were allocated for the implementation of the project. In only 3 months, we finished the implementation of 100 composting units. This alliance led to the actual sales of the compost samples and 2 signed contracts for the sales of 324 tons of compost next year.
This new compost business created a new entrepreneurial activity for this community and at the same time produced environmentally friendly organic compost. As a result of the success of the project, the average monthly income of the garbage collectors increased by 54%. To sustain the View2See project in Hayy Zabalin, SIFE UFE developed an expansion strategy for the newly initiated compost business. This strategy consists of adding 8 new composting barrels each month until the end of next year. So, we started by giving 4 young garbage collector sessions on the financial and management techniques needed to run this new compost business. This will allow them to invest in further units and expand the project. Planning to transform Hayy Zabalin community into a composting manufacturing place, SIFE advocated the composting techniques throughout sessions, reaching 6,000 inhabitants in Hayy Zabalin.
To sum up, in the Fu2C project, we turned organic waste into compost. We obtained 150 square meters of land, in which we implemented 100 composting units. The new compost business resulted in the increase of the average monthly income of the garbage collectors involved, from $175 to $270. In addition, the official approval on SIFE's compost and the project expansion strategy will reduce the gap between the supply and demand on the compost market in the upcoming years.
الوراق Development Program.
In the heart of Cairo lies El Warraq Island. Being out of reach, no one thought about its development. In 2007, SIFE saw it as an opportunity for development and decided to switch perception. Today, we will show you 3 projects of El Warraq Development Program.
The Loom Weaving Project.
In El Warraq, social and cultural barriers limit women's contribution to the family's income, or even leaving the islands for their daily activities. When we started working in El Warraq Island 4 years ago, SIFE had as objective to change cultural bias and demonstrate that women can have an effective role in the society.
That's why in 2007 we launched the Women Development Program that increased the involved women's income from $0 to $200 per month in the last 4 years. This outstanding impact encouraged the women on the island to participate in similar entrepreneurial projects. For that, we diversified the program and started the Loom Weaving Project.
The reason of choosing loom weaving, it's a simple process that requires low-cost initial investment to produce handmade carpets using wool threads. So, we established a loom weaving center on the island and provided 10 women with raw materials and a 4-month technical training. To ensure the 100% use of all the materials, thread waste remaining from the carpets production process is used to fabricate handmade bags using the same loom.
In order to run the new activity professionally, we trained women on how to make loom weaving financial calculations. In addition, we assisted the participants in marketing their products in several touristic sites in Egypt, such as Khan el-Khalili and Sharm el-Sheikh. These products are now successfully competing in the market due to their unique designs, competitive prices, and promotional offers. To ensure the standardization of the products, women are applying quality control measures.
SIFE is proud that each woman is now able to produce 16 carpets and 5 bags per month, leading to a 38% increase in the family income. Today, 25% of the profit are reinvested for the expansion of the project and to ensure its sustainability. This will allow the expansion of the center and will entice new participants to start the loom weaving activity.
To sum up, in the Loom Weaving Project, we established a Loom Weaving Center inside the island, trained 10 women on loom weaving skills, and introduced to them financial and marketing techniques, enabling them to run their new entrepreneurial business.
El Warraq Women Development Program has a great impact. It provides practical and adaptable solutions suitable to the island's traditions. The synergy between our last year's So Far So Good and this year's Loom Weaving Project resulted in a remarkable success, increasing the monthly income of the women from $0 to $251 in 2010.
The Re-Warraq Project.
This is El Warraq Island today. Going 1 year back, this was the actual status of El Warraq Island. In fact, those were the normal living conditions for the island inhabitants. Facing difficulties in transporting garbage outside the island due to inconvenient infrastructure and location, the 3,650 tons of annual garbage were either burnt, stacked, or thrown in the Nile River. Being committed to enhance the standards of living on this island, SIFE had to work on changing the mindsets of the inhabitants and on finding suitable solutions for the garbage disposal problem.
After studying the hygienic situation in El Warraq, SIFE divided the work into 3 main axes: decreasing the piles of garbage on the island, increasing hygienic awareness among the inhabitants, and finally, sustain the sanitation on the island. To decrease the points of garbage, we partnered with the governmental agency, GCBA, which assisted in removing the garbage spread all over the island.
This partnership is a win-win agreement. SIFE UFE provides the GCBA with the daily collected garbage to be recycled. In return, the GCBA secures the monthly salary of 4 garbage collectors that we recruited from the island and provides us with bag for garbage collection disposal, creating a waste management process.
To increase hygienic awareness and avoid garbage restacking, SIFE UFE conducted 1,135 hours of cleaning and awareness campaigns. We also encourage the inhabitants to follow certain garbage disposal procedures by separating their own garbage.
Today, we can proudly say that 906 tons of garbage have been removed from the island in a period of 5 months, evacuating 50,000 square meters of the land. 2 acres of this land are now cultivated, selling 5 tons of crops per season and creating a new source of income of $1,400 per season. In addition, around 3,000 families are separating their own garbage, facilitating the waste management process.
To sustain the sanitation in El Warraq, we are now studying the implementation of small recycling and composting units. This will ensure the efficient usage of the collected garbage, will create new job opportunities and sources of income, and will ultimately eradicate the garbage problem.
To sum up, in the Warraq project, we established a system for garbage collection disposal consisting of 3 phases: home garbage separation, home garbage evacuation, and finally, recycling. In this project, we removed 906 tons of garbage from the island, transformed 2 acres of land into arable ones, created new job opportunities, new cultivation activities, and more sources of revenue.
The core project.
In the past years in Warraq Island, we have been implementing our own strategies for the development of this community. This year, our goal was to ensure the sustainability of our current and future projects, and at the same time engage the inhabitants to build their own path of development in the years to come.
Children and teenagers represent 60% of the island's population. However, with their actual low conditions of living, they wouldn't be able to contribute in the development of their community because they lack on basic soft skills. SIFE UFE believe that by empowering them, they will be key agents for development. We targeted 50 students aged between 12 and 18 years old.
After assessing the needs of these students, we designed new blended learning approaches throughout a 3-month customized program consisting of 12 sessions and built on an emotional intelligence platform. These sessions included creative thinking, communication, teamwork, and leadership. According to the students' teachers, all students improved remarkably by showing better self-discipline, proactiveness, and above all, more responsibility towards their island.
Post the training, the students were engaged in 360 hours of civic engagement work with SIFE UFE team in the cleaning and environmental awareness campaigns in the Warraq project. While working with them, we realized how determined they were to put in place their own vision for development of their community and to be the core of the positive influence on the island. And now let's see what the children will say.
بإذن الله الفترة الجاية هجيب الجماعة صحابي الشباب وهنروح المدرسة ونخش الفصل اللي هنلاقي فيه دقة مكسورة هننزلها تحت هنصلحها.
أول ما رحنا فيها هي جزيرة، الناس كانوا بيبصونا بصوا شكل أول واحدة أنا مكسوفة، بس بصراحة كنت فرحانة عشان أنا بعمل حاجة لبلدي. كنت عايزة يعني أطلع لاعب كورة. 25% مثلا في السنة سبب الكورة، قال مثلا نروح هنا عشان نقوم بلدنا ونضيف وكده.
To build and train strong, qualified, and motivated leaders to be the change drivers for their own community was our objective in this project. That's why we developed the students' soft skills, involved them in civic engagement work, and finally chose 7 of them to have leading roles and other projects on the island.
The Pure Irrigation Project.
In Egypt, 5 billion cubic meters of water are polluted annually. In 2002, the government made its effort to ban the cultivation of direct consumption crops using drainage water. However, 177,000 acres in northern Egypt are irrigated illegally using contaminated water. For instance, the quality indicator of water, which is the BOD, biochemical oxygen demand of a Galatma canal, one of the most polluted water canals in Egypt, has reached 530 milligrams per liter, where its legal acceptable rate for irrigation is 60 milligrams per liter.
Seeking solutions for this problem, SIFE decided to launch the Pure Irrigation Project, with the objective of eliminating the illegal and unethical actions of cultivation by purifying the drainage water. In order to achieve our objectives, we partnered with Drainage Research Institute to design water purification units. After a year of researches and experiments, SIFE implemented 6 purifying units on the Galatma Canal. The water purification process works as follows. The contaminated water is pumped out of the canal, then passes through simple and natural components like pebbles, rocks, and reed plants. SIFE is proud that the BOD water test showed that we have effectively reduced the BOD by 94%, changing it from 530, reaching a record of 15 milligrams per liter, ensuring a safe and legalized irrigation for direct consumption crops.
Water purification allowed farmers to begin their own entrepreneurial project, cultivating legally direct consumption crops. To initiate a new business, we obtained the government's official approval to open a new authorized market for fruits and vegetables. As a result, this allowed farmers to cultivate 7 tons of direct consumption crops, increasing their income by 445% per season.
To expand the project and to ensure its long-term success, SIFE trained 25 farmers the techniques of establishment of our newly developed purification units. In addition, we taught the farmers the concepts of investment, break-even analysis, and financial tracking. In order to engage and encourage them to invest in further purification units, we explained to them that they can reach the break-even point of their investment in only 1 season.
As a result of the success of the purification model, we are now implementing 30 new units in El Galatma village for another 225 farmers. In addition, the Egyptian Ministry of Irrigation decided to participate with us to construct 3 large basins of purification on the main water canal to purify the water directly in the upcoming years. By then, we will be able to reach out for more farmers and ensure illegal cultivation of direct consumption crops for the whole region. This will create new economic opportunities by $56,000 annually.
To sum up, in the Pure Irrigation Project, we designed new purifying units that reduced the BOD of the irrigation water by 94%. This solved the problem of the illegal farming, created new entrepreneurial activity for the cultivation of direct consumption crops, and increased the farmer's income from $526 to $2,280 per season. Today, farmers are planning to invest in the purifying units due to their high return on investment, ensuring the sustainability of the project in the upcoming years.
Now that we've presented our project, we would like to highlight how do they fulfill the SIFE criteria. For the market economics, we opened new markets in our Riwarre and Pure Irrigation project, one for the piles of garbage and the other for direct consumption crops. As for the FU2C project, we helped Hayes al-Balin community to target compost on consumers and sign 2 sales contracts. In addition, this project will reduce the gap between the supply and demand of compost in the upcoming years. And finally, in the loom weaving project, we assisted women in marketing their products in several touristic areas in Egypt.
All of our presented projects fulfill the SIFE success skills criterion. In the FU2C project, we taught the inhabitants of Hayes al-Balin how to transform food waste into compost. As for the Warre development program, we trained the inhabitants on the garbage separation techniques, 10 women on loom weaving skills, and 50 students on soft skills. As for the Pure Irrigation project, we taught the farmers how to build purifying units.
For the entrepreneurship, we successfully created a new entrepreneurial business for the newly produced compost at Hayes al-Balin. We turned the unemployed women into qualified workers in the loom weaving project. As for the Pure Irrigation, we improved the farmers' existing business and expanded the cultivation of direct consumption crops. And finally, we created 4 new job opportunities in the Riwarre project.
For the financial literacy, we developed the personal financial management skills necessary to achieve financial independence in 3 of our projects. In the FU2C project, we trained the garbage collectors on the financial supervisory methods needed to run a successful compost business. As for the loom weaving project, we provided the participating women with specific feasibility study courses. And finally, in the purigation project, we conducted trainings for the participating farmers on basics of investment, break-even analysis, and financial tracking.
All of our presented projects are environmentally friendly. In the Fu2C project, we found a solution to reuse the amount of waste by transforming them into compost. As for the loom weaving project, we taught the participating women how to make environmentally sustainable business decisions by using 100% of all the materials. In the Riwa project, we conducted cleaning and awareness campaigns for the garbage disposal routines, in which the students of the core project participated. And finally, in the purigation project, we designed new purifying units that reduced the BOD of the Galatma Canal from 530 milligrams per liter to 15.
SIFE believes that the long-term success of a market economy on business depends on ethical business practices. That's why, in the Fu2C project, our objective was to decrease the monopoly activities on the compost market and increase the quality benchmark of compost. As for the loom weaving project, we taught women how to apply quality control measures. And finally, in the purigation project, the official governmental approval on the fruits and vegetable market turned it to be legal.
To sustain our team, we developed an integrated system for recruitment, evaluation, and feedback. Supported by our university, BEB, and alumni, we successfully implemented 14 projects this year. To sustain them, we partnered with strong organizations, secured more than $117,000 of funds, and were covered by media.
SIFE is always applying strategies to customize development programs to satisfy the needs of Hayy al-Zabalin and Al-Galatma village. These projects not only solve the problems of our targeted communities, but also created new economic opportunities.
Throughout our 4 years working in Warraq Island, we have been considering the economic, social, and environmental factors of this community to customize the development program to satisfy its needs.
Therefore, SIFE worked on a family model by engaging all of its members in 4 of our projects. This model was successfully implemented in Warraq Island, increasing the average monthly income of the participating families by 323%. This model is expected to embrace more families in the upcoming years.
SIFE also satisfied the needs of the island. Throughout our BioLife and Riwa projects, we provided this community with the basic services to guarantee a green source of energy and a clean environment.
We believe that Warraq model successfully empowered this community, impacting the lives of 20,000 inhabitants, and proved that it's promising to be implemented in other communities in the future.
This year, to expand our positive impact, we applied similar strategies to customize development programs to satisfy the needs of Hayy al-Zabalin and Al-Galatma village.
We are now planning to adapt new development programs for other communities in the future. We believe that by then, we will increase our impact and provide new economic opportunities for more communities. This year, we can proudly say that
in the Fu2C project, we turned organic waste into compost.
In the loom weaving project, we turned the unemployed women into skilled workers.
In the Riwa project, we removed the piles of garbage to sustain a clean environment. In the core project, we developed the children to become more responsible.
And finally, in the purigation project, we recycled drainage water into safe irrigation water.
And this is how we filled the cup and switched perceptions.
Let's thank the team from Egypt. Time has expired. We'll now have to start the question and answer period, Egypt. Once again, judges, you may now begin the question and answer period.
Yeah, I have a question with regard to the purigation project. Can you elaborate on how you developed the purigation technology?
Excuse me, sir, I don't see you. Okay, sorry. For the purification technology, we have studied several purifying units techniques, and then we have engineers in our university that have worked on the design of these purifying models. And then we also partnered with the Drainage Research Institute to provide us with experts and a place where we can do our tests and test the chemicals of the water and all of this. And this is how we developed it. We have made a prototype and then we have tested, and now, as we said in the presentation, we are doing more purifying units as a result of the success of them. And also, as a result of this project, the Egyptian Ministry of Irrigation decided to participate with us, and we are constructing 3 large main basins to purify the water directly for the whole region in the upcoming years.
Excellent presentation, Egypt. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to find out how you recruit and how you create capacity. You mentioned that you've got 14 projects that you're managing. How are you managing those projects and how are you doing your recruitment processes?
Thank you, sir. Actually, we have something called the SIFE Academy. This academy is specialized in training our members. We give them project management skills, presentation skills, and other skills. This is how we manage to train our members. For the recruitment, we have 2 levels of recruitment. First level of recruitment is basic paperwork, filling paperwork, and the second level of recruitment is a personal interview with the members to see the capabilities of these members and in which project they will be able to work, if maybe they have IT capabilities or they can work in implementations, and this is mainly how we train our members and we choose them.
Good afternoon, Egypt. Congratulations to you and on all the teams to making it to the Final Four.
Thank you, sir.
2 quick questions. Please, you mentioned here that for 2011, you have 324 tons of compost that for potential sales. If you could tell me how many you sold this year, and also help me understand how 4 men handled 900 tons of waste in 5 months, please.
I'll tell you about the first question about the compost, right? Yes, this year we have sold actually 54 tons of compost in addition of the compost samples, and they have been successfully demanded on the market. So for next year we are implementing 8 composting units each month as we explained in the presentation. So we will have 324 tons of compost for next year. And as for the second project, can you repeat it, please?
You mentioned that you moved, and I may have gotten it wrong, but 900 tons of waste were removed in 5 months, I think by 4 men, if you could help me understand that.
Okay, we have partnered with a governmental agency called GCBA to remove all the piles of garbage, and then we have done several cleaning and awareness campaigns with the kids in the core project, and with our team we have conducted about 1,135 hours of cleaning, and then we have the partnership with the GCBA. It's the governmental agency common, then we have tractors and all these equipments to remove the garbage outside the island, and then we have all the piles of garbage stacked in front of the boats because it's an island, and then the part of the agreement between us and the GCBA is that we do collect the garbage on the borders of the Nile bank, and then boats come and take them to the other bank, and then they go to be recycled in their own agencies.
Your time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the French University SIFE team from Egypt.